Hello and welcome back to Psychology 303, the analysis of everyday behavior. My name is Dr. Wendy Williams, and this is the lecture for Chapter 4D, focusing on negative reinforcement, escape, and avoidance. So we're going to be talking about escape first, and here are some examples I found of different kinds of escape. I guess we all define escape differently, but in behavior analysis, negative reinforcement is defined as a negative reinforcer is an aversive stimulus, something we don't like, that increases the frequency of a behavior that either terminates or prevents that awful thing from happening. So it is an unpleasant stimuli, but it serves as a negative reinforcer because it can strengthen the behavior that makes that awful thing stop or go away or never get presented. And it can affect the frequency of that behavior, its magnitude, its strength, or its probability. Negative reinforcers are stimuli that you would work to escape or avoid. They're things you don't want to be around. So what are some negative reinforcers for you? For myself, these are a few of my least favorite things. I hate stockings. I hate meetings. I hate doing the dishes. I hate fish. I hate all the laundry, the heels. I hate all this stuff so bad. Sorry about that. That was really awful. So we talk about escape in terms of the escape contingency. The way this works is that with escape, something awful is already happening. And you do something to make it go away. So here's an example. The TV is too loud. And the behavior is you get up out of your chair and you go over and you turn it down. And now the TV is not too loud. And so the next time the TV is loud, you'll get up and you'll go turn it down because that'll make the loud, noisy TV go away. Here's another example. There's something in the trash can that smells really foul, really nasty. So you tie up the trash can, the trash bag, and you take it out to the dumpster. And now your kitchen and your trash no longer smell. So notice that what we're doing, the behavior is doing something to make the bad thing go away. So one of my least favorite things in the world are scary slasher movies. And what I really don't like is the music. The music in those movies is so scary. So the intense music in a slasher movie makes you scared. So you plug your ears and close your eyes, and now you can't hear or see you can't hear the scary music or see the slasher stabbing the girl, and so all is good. You've done something to make it go away. So notice with escape, the icky thing, the thing we don't like, that aversive stimulus is already present, and the behavior is what you do to make that awful thing go away. And what happens is, the result is that this behavior that you choose is strengthened. Ah! Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so what would you do to escape is the question. All right, so we tend to repeat those behaviors that eliminate bad or unpleasant things. So we plug our ears when we hear fire alarms to make it less noisy. We put our seatbelts on to avoid the annoying buzzer to stop the annoying buzzer that comes on if we don't wear our seatbelts. We change the radio station when Justin Bieber comes on. Ooh, baby, baby, ooh. Yuck. How many of you put your sunglasses on to eliminate glare? You go out you leave the building and you go out to the parking lot. It's sunny. Sorry about that. It's sunny, and so you take your sunglasses out and you put them on. Or you have an upset stomach, and so you take Pepto, or you have a headache, so you take aspirin. You get up in the morning and you've got that horrible morning breath, and so you brush your teeth. All of these are forms of escape. Okay, so here's this little guy, and he's brushing his teeth. So escape basically means you're terminating something that's already there and kind of unpleasant. So the escape via negative reinforcement requires that the aversive stimulus be present, and then you do something, the behavior that you do, you use it to escape, is the one that gets strengthened. The aversive stimulus is present, and you do something to make it go away or stop. And that's basically what escape is. Avoidance, on the other hand, means that you're going to prevent the aversive stimulus. The avoidance form of negative reinforcement requires that the likelihood of the aversive stimulus be high, so there's a high risk that it's coming, but it should not yet be present. So it should be imminent. This bad thing is about to occur, and then you do something to avoid the aversive stimulus that gets strengthened. So that behavior that you use avoids the stimulus. You're going to use it again the next time there's a high risk of that aversive stimulus. When you're faced with a threat of something bad, you do something to prevent it, and if it's effective, you'll do it again in the future. So avoidance, what are you trying to avoid? And these are some good examples. You know, I'm trying to avoid Facebook. Avoiding bankruptcy is good. When your child puts their fingers in her ears when you're talking to them, you know that that's a bad thing. So we need to be careful here. Avoidance is the contingent prevention of an aversive stimulus following a target behavior. So the target behavior prevents the aversive stimulus. Simply put, you do something to prevent a confrontation with your boyfriend, a bad grade. You do something to avoid a bad grade in biology. You do something to avoid running out of gas. You do something to avoid getting a ticket. These are all forms of avoidance, and if they're effective, if they work, whatever you do, if it works, you're probably going to use that behavior again sometime in the future. So avoidance is a form of negative reinforcement. Your behavior functionally prevents that bad, aversive thing from happening. So in the future, you repeat that same behavior whenever that bad thing is a possibility, you're likely to do that behavior again. So here are some examples. What would you do to avoid it? We tend to repeat those behaviors that keep those dreaded foods, those dreaded people, those dreaded experiences at bay. So how, do you do your homework to avoid getting in trouble or getting a bad grade? Do you lie about being busy to avoid that annoying person? Going out to eat to avoid cooking or having to do the dishes? Setting the alarm across the room so that you avoid oversleeping and missing class. Showering. How many of us shower because we love to shower as opposed to we shower because we don't want to smell bad, right? We're trying to avoid smelling bad. Brushing your teeth to avoid cavities or bad breath. Avoiding cavities when you go to the dentist. We all brush our teeth a lot right before we go to the dentist, right? Hoping that we can, get rid of the bad breath, and hopefully there won't be so many cavities. So here's a little cartoon. This is Superman, and he's doing something to avoid having the asteroid hit the Earth. So he says, the heavy asteroid I threw has shattered the dark star to fragments. They'll whirl away on a new course and never touch Earth. So the next time there is if there's an asteroid again, then he'll probably throw another big rock at it to make the asteroid go away because it worked the first time. So negative reinforcement is really quite, it's a really good and efficient way of strengthening behavior. It gets bad stuff out of our lives. So stopping or getting away from things that are aversive or unpleasant or dangerous is actually evolutionarily a good idea. Humans have been relying on negative reinforcement to escape lots of stuff, either escape or avoid hunger, thirst, cold, disease, poverty, boredom. We've worked very hard as a species to get really good at escape and avoiding unpleasant stuff. And so it really has become, negative reinforcement for many of us is the mother of invention. It is often what I think drives, it was part of what drove human evolution. So let me see if I can find some pictures here. I've got some pictures for you. So for example, so here's my little cursor. Building aqueducts. That's a huge accomplishment for humans. That's enormous. And why do we do it? Because it's pretty? No, because we want to avoid not having running water. I mean, once they discovered how to do this, they never had to be without running water again. Here's an awesome a little baby wrap, a little papoose. Why would this be the product of negative reinforcement? Well, if you leave your baby behind, the baby, or laying on the ground or in the little crib, they cry a lot. But if you put them on your back, you can take them with you, and the movement soothes them, so you're able to keep the baby quiet and go about your chores at the same time. So you avoid the annoying crying, and you actually get things accomplished. So clearly this happened a long time ago with humans, but we're still using backpacks and front packs with babies because it's a very effective way to soothe them and keep them from crying too much. Here you're avoiding the elements. Here you have clothing. You're avoiding getting cold. It allows you to stay, it wards off the cold. Stone tools that allowed us to avoid hunger by allowing us to process food more effectively or to hunt more effectively. Fire. Yeah, that's a good one. Here's another example of a dwelling of some type, or a shrine. This is one of my favorites right here. You may not be able to tell at first, but if you look closely, it's a shoe. This is a Neanderthal shoe. It's a prehistoric shoe, and it allows you to avoid hurting your feet. So all these things come about as a result of negative reinforcement. Really pretty powerful stuff. So escape and avoidance. Escape results in the termination of a stimulus that's already present. Avoidance results in the prevention of an aversive stimulus that's imminent, that's about to happen. And so are you an escaper or are you an avoider? So when you put on your sunglasses, do you put it on after you go outside and you're squinting? Or do you put your sunglasses on before you leave the building? If you do it before, you're an avoider. If you do it after and you're out in the sun, then you're an escaper. Do you set the alarm all the way across the room, or do you use the snooze button? Both escape and avoidance are forms of negative reinforcement, and both of them strengthen the behavior that either terminates or prevents the aversive stimulus. Okay, well, I'm going to stop there, and then my next lectures will be lectures over Chapter 5, which is the chapter on extinction. So have a good day.